Good afternoon. How you doing?
As a quarterback, you've got so much that you've got to try to digest during a week game planning, but when you only have 3 days, you've now experienced this quite a bit. What are the keys you found to be most efficient with your time when you're preparing for a Thursday night game?
Yeah, everything is just kind of crunched in, and so the main thing is to, study film and getting your body right. So, really just around the clock work for a lot of guys. Younger guys been just talking to guys about how to prepare for this week. Obviously a short week, and so the key thing is that mastering your routine, and then getting all the things that you need, that you feel you need to be prepared for the game. Trying to crunch it into 2-3 days, but it's what it is, and we got to make it happen.
Mike Macdonald was pretty direct in his assessment that the run game needs to get going and there needs to be more opportunities. How do you see creating those opportunities and see that playing out?
Yeah, I think it obviously it starts up front. Our guys up front who've been doing a great job in the run game, just making sure that we're relying on those guys. Letting them take over the game, and so Grubb's going to call the game according to what he sees. Obviously, it's always important to be balanced and to take advantage of all the weaknesses in the defense. But our running game has got to be the defining factor for our offense. And I think as we go along throughout the season, obviously the pass run numbers, they tend to balance up. But we definitely want to run the ball. We definitely want to be physical up front. We want to set the tone that way. And we need those guys. We got great running backs. We got great linemen, and we got to continue to rely on those guys.
How much of the way it went Sunday was just kind of, you guys fell behind a little bit and things like that, and you end up kind of having to throw a lot at the end of the game and things, or?
Yeah, I think it's just how the game goes sometimes. Again, I'm not like out there sitting there counting all the reps. I'm trying to make the reps count, so I'm just going out there and doing my job and putting us in the best position to make plays and to win the game. And so obviously, we were in the fourth quarter, we were in pretty much 2-minute drill, down 2 scores, trying to score a touchdown and then get in field goal range. So there's going to be more passes than runs. Time is of the essence in that situation, so I think that's the reason for it. But obviously, we got to continue to, fight for that balance that we love.
Seattle and San Francisco have one of the lowest play action rates in the NFL, and some of that's empty sets. Can you talk about the spacing difference as a quarterback from an empty versus a play action kind of game?
Yeah, obviously when you're in empty, you're in spread formations, you're getting five eligibles out. So it's going to be more of a spread situation versus when you go play action, you're usually involving your tight ends in the pass blocking scheme there in the play action scheme. So you're only going to be able to get maybe 3 or 4 guys out, and so there's a difference there. But as far as that goes, man, I feel great with play action. I feel great with drop back. I just go by what Grubb calls and make the plays work. It's really not a big deal to me, but obviously it's something that we want to improve on.
You felt a difference in the way the defenses are responding to the play action plays with the lack of run game that there's been, particularly in the first half of some of these games?
I wouldn't say that. I think we hit a big play action to Tyler, in the second half in that first drive, and so I think again it just comes down to what's the best play for the situation, given situation, and these NFL games, man, they vary. It's not going to always be the same thing every week, and so for us, man, like you said, play action, you need to run the ball in order for it to be effective. That's what they say. But we came out and we hit a big play action, and we really didn't have a lot of plays in the first half, but it still worked. So as long as you're doing the right things and calling plays at the right time, it should be fine.
You've seen San Francisco a lot the last couple of years since you've been starting here. What do they do well on defense, and how maybe have they changed at all with a new coordinator?
Yeah, I think what they do well is obviously they're great at causing turnovers. You talk about personnel. Nick Bosa, one of the better DNs in the league, and then you got Fred Warner, Mike Backer, one of the better middle linebackers in the game. They got playmakers all around the defense. They play together. They fly around. They got swagger. They're proven. They believe in themselves, and so they come right in. They're not going to try and trick you as far as scheme goes. They're going to line up and force you to beat them for 60 minutes, and so we respect them. They've been a great team, especially in recent years, and it's time for us to go out there and get it done.
They've been the team to beat in this division. They've beaten you guys 5 straight times. I know you didn't play in one of those, but what have you made of that streak and what you guys have to do to end it?
It's just about this game. Those 5 games don't help them, don't help us. It's about this game and focusing on this Thursday night. That's all that really matters. Obviously, yeah, you can say that, but and you can go past that and say we beat them 5 straight times. So I think it doesn't really matter, right? It just matters about this game and what we do now.
The 49ers have been kind of dismissive of the Seahawks the last few years and celebrated on Lumen Field and Thanksgiving. The Seahawks have the most division titles since they came in the NFC West and beat them on the way to their first Super Bowl. How much does the locker room know about the history of this rivalry?
That's a good question. We got a lot of young guys on this team and guys who grew up watching the Seahawks, be dominant. And so how much they know, I don't know, but, I'm aware of it. And I know about this rivalry. I was in the league when, they were going at it with Russ and Kaepernick and all those great players and, Sherm making that big play on Crabtree. So, those are things that we know about. It's all throughout, the building. It's all on the walls and stuff. And so we know how big this rivalry is. These are predominantly two of the better teams in the league over the past 10 years, and it's always going to be a slugfest. And so, like I said, we respect those guys. They have some great players on their side, and they're proven. And as far as we go, we've proven ourselves as well. But it's a big time matchup. It's a big time matchup. Great players all over the field, and a lot to be excited for.
Can you tell the difference in the intensity of a Thursday night game or the physicality of a Thursday night game?
Yeah, I'm not blocking or hitting or tackling, so I can't really speak to that. But, the sense of urgency is definitely always up, especially when there's a division opponent. Those games are, they matter the most sometimes. And so, for us, Thursday night game, another primetime game, another chance to go out there and prove ourselves. But most importantly, to take control of the division. That's the important thing. It's a big game coming up again. Still early in the season, but our first crack at it, and, we got to be prepared.
With all the shifts and motions in this offense, what's different about what it's trying to accomplish than shifts and motions in other offenses?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just to put stress on the defense, right? You want to make those guys communicate. You want to make those guys be spot on with their communication and, do it in not a lot of time. Show them one formation, get to another. Let's see how they communicate. That's really the main thing. As far as we go, we're not going to give all our secrets away, but, we want to go out there and play fast. We want to go out there and take advantage of what the D's given us. And, the key thing is to see what that is and then move forward.
Is a lot of that built into the play call, or is that something that you can see when you get to the line early and survey the defense that you can make that call?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll say you just got to see when we get out there, man. I can't give you our game plan away, but we'd love to talk to you about it, tell you all about it. But we need those tips right there.
Geno, what are the complexities of a fast start? I know y'all want to start fast, and then how do you balance that with keeping from a sense of urgency and letting the game come to the offense?
I think it's just about execution. 60 minutes of execution. Start fast means playing great in the first quarter, and then stepping on the gas means playing great in the second and third quarter, and then, finishing the drill means playing great in the fourth quarter. So it's about execution. No matter how many plays you get, you want to be great on every single down because you don't know which down is going to be the defining one. So, when Coach says start fast, he means to play good throughout the entire game, and that's what we're shooting for.
How have you felt? I know it's only been 36 hours or whatever since you guys just last played, but how have you kind of felt the mood of the team is? It seemed like, you mentioned after the game you felt maybe the Giants wanted it more and things like that. Is this kind of what happened Sunday? I guess, what's the mood of the team right now?
Yeah, we're locked in. We've, 24-hour rule. We already passed that game. That's already done. We can't do nothing about it. But we're locked in for our next opponent, our next opportunity. And like I said, man, it's a big game. Everyone is excited. I know I'm excited and can't wait to get out there.
When the energy level is off or different in a game, who are the people that raise it on the sideline?
Yeah, I think the energy is a result of the execution. When you're playing well, scoring points, the energy is going to be high, right? When you're not, moving the ball or executing to the best of your ability, guys are going to get frustrated. That's just a part of being a competitor. And, you never want to go over the top with any of those. You don't want to get too excited, don't want to get too low. It's my job, it's the coach's job. Internally, it's each player's job to make sure that they're just laser focused and just focusing on the next opportunity, the next play, doing their job to the best of their ability. That's the main thing. Like I said, emotions are always high. This is, big time football, NFL football. We expect guys to be emotional. But it can't supersede your intelligence, and so we just got to make sure that we're doing the right things at all times. And if I got to step in and say something, or if someone else has to say something, that's fine. But the main thing is doing your job.
How do you feel about where the offense is through 5 weeks?
Man, steadily improving. I've seen real improvements just in our preparation and our practices. You can tell that, guys are starting to get the system down and, really understand and anticipate, what to do and what's happening next. And I think, again, like this is something we build throughout the season. You don't want to be at your best right now. You want to be peaking late in the season. Like that's what the best teams do. And so as we're working through things, as we're, working through the process, I think we're continuing to get better. And I see the improvements. And, I think it's been showing up, at times on game day, but I think it could be better.
You've never been known as a running quarterback, but I think Sunday was a career high in rushing yards. You told us before the season you feel like you're faster than average. Feel like when the moments are there, you've been able to show that off a little bit?
Yeah, I want to continue to do that. I want to continue to take advantage of, if teams are going to play us in man and they're not going to put a spy out there, if they're not going to, maintain their rush lanes and I can get out there and, get extra yards, then I think that helps our offense. It also puts a little bit more stress on the D coordinators and what they want to do. But, like you said, my game is not revolved around that, but, I've always had it, and I tend to try to pick my spots of when to do it. But, if there's a lane, I'm going to go.
Have you ever played on your birthday before?
Probably, yeah.
No.
Football, I'm October baby. My birthday's always been football
Yeah.
season.
No good memories of playing. No, nothing that stands out.
Not that I can think of. Birthdays are birthdays to me. It's just another day.
Speaking of running, that long run you had, there was the video of Jackson continuing to look like he was running a route, taking the defenders away. Could you see that in the moment at all?
Yeah, I saw him doing that,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool. I saw him putting his hand up, and then I saw the two guys continuing to chase him. So I tried to chase them as they were, chasing him down, and that was pretty smart by him. Jackson's a really smart young player, and that was a cool moment.
Have you been spied before?
I don't think so. And I don't know, but we'll see.